today's deliberation.
Yes,
The scope of today's deliberation, that what exactly the medical legal practice includes. Uniformity already exists, whether or not, and if it is existing, in what instances. Hope there is some audio disturbance at my end. Please see. Please mute some participants. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Aarti. Non-uniformity and current scenario, where it exists, how it exists, and who should take lead on that. What are the advantages of uniformity? What are the hindrances and challenges of in streamlining this uniformal work? And what measures we shall take to bring down or to ensure uniformity on all fronts. This is the scope of my deliberation. Next slide, please. So usually, all of us are forensic medicine people, and we understand that the medical legal practice basically includes medical legal autopsy and clinical forensic medicine cases. So far as medical legal autopsy is concerned, we deal with routine cases, we deal with custody dates, and we also deal with re-postmortem examination so far as autopsy is concerned. So far as clinical forensic medicine cases are concerned, age estimation, victim of sexual assault, accused of sexual assault, drunkenness, injury report, examination of person in police custody. When a person is arrested by police as a mandate, he is brought to the nearest authorized medical center for his fitness, that whether he is medically fit or not. So these are major areas which we will be focusing about the SOP or the uniformity. Next slide, please. So as I told you, which are the areas in which some sort of uniformity is already in existence. This may be partial or this may be a little bit complete also. So if we see that various forms under the MTP Act, right, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, the forms are prescribed, and those forms are uniformly practiced in almost all states. The same way that applies to various forms under PCPNDT Act, those are also uniformly practiced in all states. These two examples, those though they are not exclusively of forensic medicine domain, those are of domain of the obstetrician and gynecologist. But since the law applies to that, we can treat it as a medical legal case. And many times the clinicians, they are in some trouble or confusion. They seek help of forensic medicine experts. The most important part that NHRC, National Human Rights Commission format in custody dates, they are there in all states, right? Whether it is Gujarat, Dr. Lalwani sir years back has been witness to so many Gujarat police encounter and custody dates. So he's more aware of these facts. And of course, Lalwani sir was as a part of CBI team. So the thing is, now at present, if we talk of current scenario, the post-mortem report format, so far as custody dates is concerned, right, or police encounter cases are concerned, those are uniform in all states, whether it is Gujarat, whether it is Northeast, whether it is South, whether it is North. Same way, recently, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and the National Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science, they have also formatted or restructured the formats for sexual assault cases, both victim and accused. They have even laid down with categorical guidelines on how the examination should be conducted. And now the only question here, that there are few states, I know there are few states, those are still following their old forms and they have not adopted MOHFW forms so far as sexual assault victim and accused cases are concerned. The same way, Artstyle Medical Council of India, right, they have, if you just go through the website, they have the sickness and fitness certificates. What a registered medical practitioner, while issuing sickness certificate, what is the format? So in other words, what are the components or essential ingredients of that certificate? Those are to be categorically mentioned. So by this particular slide, I think this is partially clear that these are the instances where we are already following some uniformity, whatever across the state boundaries, right? Next slide, please. So now non-uniformity and current scenario, and in that, where, who, and how, right? So to begin with, we talk of place and person in terms of authorization, because the learned Professor Dr. Mukesh Yadav, yesterday's deliberation on CRPC 174, so that that categorically mentioned that the dead body should be taken to the nearest authorized place, right? So that is the key word. Now, excuse me, if we, with whatever 28 years of my experience, moving as examiner or participating in conference, meeting our learned members, and whatever little exchange of existing scenario, I could categorize the place and person in two setups. One is government sector and another is private sector. If we take government sector, there are teaching medical colleges and there are non-teaching hospitals which undertake this. So far as the teaching institutions in government sector, those are concerned, they basically fall under ambit of medical education, right? Whereas when we say non-teaching hospital, that usually that is in the under Department of Medical Services. Now, if we see example wise, we take the state of Rajasthan, right? In Rajasthan, the forensic medicine faculty is undertaking all medical cases starting from the autopsy, clinical forensic medicine, fitness, medical board, whatever, right? So they are so overburdened with the work, right, that you will find very little scientific research scope for them to spare time out of their busy schedule and towards that commitment. Another, Dr. Mukesh Yadav sir will agree with me in the state of, because I'm giving an example of the state of Uttar Pradesh. In the state of Uttar Pradesh, even if it is a teaching hospital, the post-mortem is conducted by the medical officer of PMS, that is Provincial Medical Services. And at majority of the places, the forensic medicine faculty, they are not undertaking the medical legal post-mortem examination, except Dr. Charak Sangwan, with who took very proactive efforts to start medical legal work as his place, with some difficulties and challenges. But it seems that he is determined to cater the service. So sooner or later, he will be having some good results. If I talk of my own state, that is Gujarat, right? In Gujarat also, the Ahmadabad being the major area, we have 6 medical colleges, right? Run by either government or corporation or government society. Out of that, at 3 places, the post-mortem work is catered. Out of these 3, at 2 places, even if there is Department of Forensic Medicine, the medical legal work is undertaken by medical officers, right? Forensic Medicine Department faculty, they are not participating officially for this exercise, right? Number 2, the BJ Medical College, that is exclusively government medical college, the volume of workload there is 7,000 to 8,000 autopsy per year. So they have little different way of working, that the routine case will be done by medical officers, and the murder cases or wherever custody is, and the cases practically which require more forensic acumen, those are undertaken by Department of Forensic Medicine, right? In the same case in Surat also, there are government medical colleges, one is corporation medical colleges, where corporation, SMIMER, that is Surat Medical Municipal Corporation, there also the similar arrangement is there, that the routine work is done by medical officer. And if they find some difficulty, and if the case is of murder or medical negligence or custody death or so on, then they seek the opinion of forensic medicine experts. So, so far as this government sector is concerned, the teaching institution scenario, that also having, you can say, diversity or variation. Now we go to non-teaching hospital, right? The district hospital. So in Delhi, right, I remember while going to Delhi, one of our friend, Dr. Tandon, right, who was posted as a Sabji Mandi mortuary in Delhi. That was a non-teaching hospital at that time. Even it was non-teaching hospital, the government of Delhi had appointed the forensic medicine expert, MD forensic medicine qualified person, as a medical legal consultant there or expert there, and they were undertaking the post-mortem and other medical legal work. So far as the catering of medical legal work is concerned, government sector, you can divide it into teaching and non-teaching hospital. This scenario is still variable if we add some more states, right? Now coming to private places or private medical colleges. Why this is important? Because right now, almost 650 medical colleges are there, having various annual intake capacity and accordingly the staff pattern. Out of this 650, 350 are private medical colleges and only 300 are government medical colleges. Though each and every government is planning to upgrade the district hospital existing, like 300 beds and upgrade that to 750 and affiliated college. That is not the issue. We are not criticizing somebody's action or gesture. But if we see the role of private players or private medical colleges, Karnataka practically each and every, you can say, medical college, they are authorized by the state and they are even given remuneration for that. Haryana, there is one college which has been authorized to the best of belief and my knowledge, right? They are authorized by the state, which cater these services. In Maharashtra, Pravara Loni is the only college which is allowed to undertake this service. In Gujarat, you can say there are two colleges. The first one is the Society College, where I was working during the tenure of 2005 to 2010. And Professor Mukesh Yadav, right? I think you were in 2009, you were external examiner to that place, so you recollect that place, right? At the second self-finance college in Gujarat, which is catering this service, is the last place of my employment from where I jumped into the medical legal consultation. That is also authorized by the state to undertake medical legal examination. Tamil Nadu, as I know, Sampath Sir's 2015 conference, I remember, where Dr. Rajesh James was very enthusiastic part of team. So that I cannot forget. And Sri Ramchandra University, right? That also is having one authorized activity for the post-mortem examination. The same way, if you go to Madhya Pradesh, right? Sri Aurobindo Institute of Medical Sciences, where Dr. Manish Nigam was working there, he was instrumental in getting permission from the state. So far as the private colleges are concerned, there may be difference of opinion whether private college should be given the authorization for postmortem or not. That is a separate issue, right? But as a forensic medicine faculty, I do believe that the faculty in private medical college without any medical legal work, those are practically, you can say, physicians with surgery degree, right? So, and the thing is, India being a developing country, can you afford unutilized resources lying somewhere, right? Either you clear it, that there is no role of mortuary and cold room and everything, right? Or you try to utilize, because single penny, whether it is government, whether it is a private party, single penny invested in the infrastructure, that shall be properly used. That is my personal view. So time will come that this issue will get momentum. What will happen that actually this will balance the workload of the government sector. If you see, if you go to Hyderabad, even though there are two medical colleges, Osmania is having yearly 6,000 of post-mortem numbers. Now, if the balanced distribution of allotment of police station is there, utilizing by whatever way, legitimate way, the uniform distribution of the medical legal work is done, I think that will improve the quality, right? Because when we say workload is there, quality is always compromised, even though the person is highly competent. I don't doubt competency of a person or individual, but whenever there is workload, quality is going to affect. Next slide, please. Yeah. The second point is autopsy after sunset or daytime, right? The Minister of Health and Family Welfare, New Delhi, last year came up with guideline, and that was, you can say, part of debate on many WhatsApp groups, right? So the issue is, like I will start with my state, that is Gujarat, before this guideline. In Gujarat, we had clear-cut directive that which cases you will not conduct autopsy after sunset. It means that other cases you are supposed to conduct autopsy even during night time, right? Certain centers, they straight away say that no, after sunset, no autopsy, right? The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, New Delhi guidelines that opened the plethora of debate on this aspect: staff, infrastructure, lighting facility, video recording, and so on. Some people took position in support of this. Some people took position not in support of this. I am not saying in opposing, not in support of this. But a major chunk of the forensic medicine expert, like I remember my very old friend Dr. Krupal Singh Thakur, the moment this was announced, he prepared a particular letter to the government and said that for executing this particular order, we need following things in form of infrastructure, in form of staff, so that easy implementation can be done by the so concerned college. So this was, I think, this is the first initiative probably by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Department regarding post-mortem, right? I am you can say 53 years old, right? Before that, NHRC guideline apart, right? As far as post-mortem is concerned, this is the first example where the central government has taken some initiative. Whether that is debatable, we agree to that partially, we don't agree, that is separate issue, right? But it is a good sign that yes, government has started thinking of this service as well. Now we say that facility part, the BPRD 1992 guideline, right? If you see, that clearly mentions upgradation of mortuary. And yesterday also, there was some debate about virtual autopsy. The cost of those virtual autopsy rooms, that was 5 to 7 crores. So the debate was whether to upgrade current mortuaries with the BPRD guidelines and equip them in such a way that at least they can conduct the routine work. Forget about advancement. So that is also one thing. The third part is formats of autopsy report I am confining right now. For example, language, what is the language, whether it is in vernacular, English, right? I will start with my state only. I have displayed two images of the same case. They are of the same case, right? First is the page 1 of the post-mortem report, first post-mortem conducted by medical officer. The second part, in the same case, the re-post-mortem examination done by the forensic medicine department of so-and-so college, right? So, thank you for highlighting. Now, if you see this, both are from the same state. If you see page 1, what is the thing? The pre-printed things are in Gujarati, right? If anybody can understand Gujarati, that is fine. Otherwise, you have to use Google Lens if you don't have a friend, right? Because Amitabh Bachchan, you use this lifeline or phone a friend. So Google Lens is nowadays lifeline that it can translate your contents, or you can phone a friend who knows Gujarati. I don't say that only Gujarati friend who knows Gujarati, right? So the thing is, the printed format is in vernacular, that is Gujarati, and in that the entry by the person who has conducted the post-mortem examination is in English. Coming to the same case, I am not taking different case. The forensic medicine department, they have got everything in English, and that is the digital sort of postmortem report, right? Now, we will take some more examples and what is the importance or relevance of this that we will discuss further. Yeah, next, please. This is from the state of Telangana, right? Or erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, you can say. So this is also little bit different format, right? The general particular part is very little, right? And as compared to the Gujarat pro forma, and the description part is there. For the, I have masked the case number, so as to ensure the confidentiality. Next, please. Now let us go to north side. Punjab and Haryana High Court, right? They have the medical legal report and postmortem report software, right? MLR and postmortem report by doctors are being generated through online software, that is Medlepar. Dr. Harish Dasari is there. No, I think he's not there today. So they are those people are using this regularly, right? So this is
सर आपका माइक ऑन कीजिए.
So this Medlepar software that got developed by High Court itself, and it is being monitored regularly, right? Now, if you see the image, it is of a general hospital. General hospital means non-teaching hospital, right? This is the postmortem report. And if you see, it is written, generated by software. It is software generated report. So it is a sort of dynamic content uploading software, not a static one, right? Taking MS Word and filing a field, this thing, that is static software. It is not that. This is dynamic content uploading type of software where the authorized person, they can log in, they can, so when the High Court is monitoring the things, right, there are very less chances that there may be some jugglery. Why I have referred this? Because Punjab and Haryana, geographically, right, they are little bit smaller states, right? Not as wide as Uttar Pradesh or like Bihar or other states where the population or the districts are also more. So basically, to begin with, these small states geographically, they have adapted this since years, and they have not found any, you can say, jugglery or any shortcoming of this existing system. Next, please. At my previous place of work, you can see the it is not my correspondence, it is my subordinate's correspondence. So in one particular state, there was no uniformity of the format, postmortem report format. So HOD FMT then, he being proactively in terms of reforms, approach the session court, because whatever work we undertake, that is for the evidence purpose, we go to sessions court, and the admissibility or other things, those are decided by the sessions court only. So he proactively wrote to the court, and the court gave permission that yes, you can now prepare computerized postmortem reports. So the thing is, it is 2017. So you can say 5 years before, somebody took initiative that instead of handwritten report, can we go for computerization? Whatever shortcomings are there, right? Next, please. Before going into this aspect, what is the importance? Why postmortem report format is important, right? Suppose nowadays a person is domicile of one state, and for employment purpose, if he is going in some other states, right? And unfortunately, some incident occurs, and the postmortem report is even vernacular, right? And they contact Dr. Aarti that, Madam, you are in forensic medicine, what is this postmortem report? So Dr. Aarti will work, she will see that this is in Gujarati. So that either you use Google Lens or some translator, right? And in translation also, there are some issues or some limitations. So that is the main thing. Many a times the state cases, those are under scrutiny by the CBI or central agency. right? And these issues have gained attention. Coming to victims of sexual assault, if you see that, who shall undertake this examination? The Guwahati High Court at Guwahati, in so and so matter, they have categorically passed the order, right? That we expect Director General of Police, Assam, and Health Department of Government of Assam, and all other concerned, to ensure a female victim of sexual offence is examined only by lady government doctor, and if there is no lady doctor available, by a private female practitioner at state expenses or by a trained female nurse. This is categorical thing. With this judgment, Assam is the first state where the lady medical officer, they have been appointed exclusively for this work. Shelchar, Dr. Gunajit Das sir is heading the department. When I went there were 3 lady medical officers, right? Those were employed or they were appointed for this work only, right? The same cases are there across other centers in Assam also. Now here the important part, that court has said that by a private female practitioner, if circumstances are there, by a private practitioner, if the lady medical officer is not available, then there is provision of examination by private medical practitioner as well. The same is there in the 164 ACRPC, right? All of us are aware that whenever the doctor is not available of female, and if there is apprehension of some delay and loss of evidence, right? The police has the powers to request the private practitioner. So private sector, they cannot do, probably will have to come out that mindset over a period of time. Next, please. Same way, this is the similar contention of Punjab State Commission for Women, right? That it should be under supervision, either by a female doctor or in presence of female attendant. So whether victim of sexual assault can be examined by a medical officer, and that is either by female doctor or in presence of female attendant or by a private practitioner. So, so far as victim of sexual assault concerned, we have diverse practices as well, right? Next, please. Coming to FSL forms, Forensic Science Laboratory, right? CFSL, that is Center for Forensic Science Laboratory, forms are different. If you go to state FSL, forms are different, right? I'm just displaying the DNA profiling collection form, right? This was designed by the FSL Gandhinagar, now NFSU Gandhinagar, that this shall be the format. In this format, the sample for DNA profiling shall be collected. Now, if you see this form, that is little bit different from CFSL form, right? I have not got opportunity to compare with other state FSL forms, but it has to be different, right? So forget about medical legal work, but we cannot end ourselves when we finish our medical legal work. The sample collections or the FSL way of working is equally important to complete the entire chain reaction till all documents reaches the court of trial. This can be thought of. Next, please. Now, what are the advantages of uniformity? It is more scientific and complete, right? Because it is many times inadvertently, unintentionally, we may forget to write down something, right? If it is objectively structured, then that chance is less. When we say more scientific, means suppose if a committee is formed, we will review the post-mortem formats of different states, right? Everybody will be giving their worthy input, and at the end of the day, that will be more scientific. Wider acceptability to society. Society, as I gave you example, that a person from one state coming across some unfortunate event in other state, right? And claim insurance agency or other agency, right? That is, or other agency is like. Now, most important, if it is digitalized in a uniform member, it can have a strong database for the purpose of research, right? It will be strong database if it is in digital form for the purpose of research and for the purpose of reforms. This will be easy to store. At the same time, it will be easy to retrieve as well. Another advantage is the controversies in disputed matters, right? Those are reduced. Like parallel or subsequent investigating agency, if a state is having some case and the CBI is intervening or NHRC team is intervening, right? If there is some discrepancy or variation, the state first and foremost will be the person who has conducted autopsy has not complied with the guideline. And why he has not complied? Because there is something fishy. There is nothing fishy, right? Somebody is giving his opinion, but straight away the prima facie doubt arises in the eyes and the mind of the investigating agency. Many a times now we are having the insurance matters and the third party assessors of which are connected with the insurance agency. I'll just give you one example. One of the gentlemen called me that his son passed away in road traffic accident and the format was in Gujarati, right? Sorry, format was in English. So the insurance company rejected the claim, or you can say delayed the claim, that no. In Gujarat, the postmortem format is in vernacular language. So why this is in English? Right? Now, for 3 months, that matter has to be resolved, and ultimately, whatever legitimate benefit was to be delivered to the grief family, that delayed for 3 months. Medical students pursuing undergraduate and postgraduate in various states other than domicile, right? Suppose, I'll just give you an example. One person from Gujarat is going to Dr. Pradhan sir for PG, right? He will find some different advisories, protocols of Tamil Nadu state. After passing every forensic medicine, if he comes back, right, he will find altogether different provision. This format is different. So he is not actually skilled to view into format. He is forensic medicine expert. So this sort of uniformity, this will reduce the administrative hurdles, right? What are the administrative, what are government GOs, what are the formats and so on. This part, this applies to, you can say even post-graduation course in clinical subjects. The language barrier for history taking and all, that is also a major thing, right? So this can, I think, you can say, overcome so many things if it is done. Next, please. Now coming to what are the hindrances and challenges in the uniformity. India is a country with diversity, right? Diversity on all fronts. You start language, you start food, right? Every 100 kilometers, there is change. You travel India, every 100 kilometers, file change. In clothes, in food, everything. This applies to availability of resources as well and infrastructure as well. If you start moving by road, right, the National Highway Authority only. But one state, the quality of highway will be different. If you go to another state, the same NHAI is making those highways, but the quality will be different. So we are not criticizing somebody, but we admit that yes, there is some diversity, and that diversity includes resources and infrastructure. Diversity of school of thoughts. Anything new, right? Initiative, some new initiative if taken, right? Like I quoted example of one professor of forensic medicine writing to session court that can we go for computerized reports, right? So that is proactive approach. But at the same time, many will feel that why you are concerned? In what capacity you are communicating to session judge? And suppose if it is in some different session judge, then again the session court, you will have to show this later. So simply receive police papers, complete the postmortem report, write down the postmortem, submit the report, go home, sleep. If you awake tomorrow morning, then think of the world, right? So that is also one of the approach. Somebody says that forensic medicine people, one says toxicology cannot be done, one says jurisprudence cannot be done. So what can be done? What the PG curriculum, whatever all of us have pursued, or those who are pursuing, whatever is part of PG curriculum, that has to be practiced, and the better practice has to be ensured. Now, constitutional provisions, as shared by Dr. Mukesh Yadav yesterday, the 7th schedule, my contention is little bit different. Mukesh sir said that it is state matter. No, it is not state matter. It is in the concurrent list, right? Concurrent list means both cabinet and state. If you see MTP Act, that is a criminal act, that is passed by center, but the rules and regulations, though the state has got power for that, right? So this is one hindrance, you can say, one shortcoming, and that is constitutional one. This includes criminal law, criminal procedure, education, right? That includes medical education. Medical education, that is also, again, it is in the concurrent list. Medical Council of India or National Medical Commission would not accept application unless the state has issued the certificate of essentiality of medical college in that state. So this is the constitutional or the legal background within which we are expected to find out the solution. So just clarification on that. Next, please. So now if we sum up, that medical legal service that is requested by Home Department, catered by Health Department, and the dispensation is by Judiciary Department. So let us understand that for any uniformity, for any reform, in the interest of public, we have to keep in mind three departments. This is triangle, this is law triangle, this is not love triangle, right? So the thing is, if you are thinking of some positive reform, proactive things, we cannot say that one department cast its shadow on other department. It should be collective effort of all three departments. Next, please. So what measures can be adapted or suggested for uniformity? Those who are interested can go for further readings. One is a medical legal manual that is prepared by Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, AIMS Bhopal. Dr. Arnit Madam and Dr. Jayanti Ma'am, you can say we are in touch since our PG days, right? So we exchange all something. It is not the right place to share all these things here, but this is based example of SOP or uniformity at institutional level. Charity begins at home, right? If we think that there should be uniformity at the institutional level, that should be uniformity. And this can be the best example of that. The second thing, yesterday's eminent speaker Murthy sir, who shared his experience, vast experience of various countries, operational guideline for postmortem work in India. I have cited the reference, the entire document, right, that contains uniform guidelines for postmortem work in India at January 2013 and JFMT volume number and everything I have mentioned. Those who are interested in these guidelines, because these two guidelines, they shall be, you can say, preamble. They shall form the basis that in what direction we should go, how we should go. Again, monotonous versus reformist approach, and as the name suggests, that is Raft, right? This is reforms. So I don't have any doubt that this will gain some momentum, right? And some proactive people will join again. And from 1, it will be 2, 2 to 5, and 5 onwards, it is mob. So let mob gather. Previous slide, please, host. Yeah. Another is the individual level. Institutional level, I gave example. State level association, like Medico Legal Association of Puducherry is hosting, right? And that association can also play active role. Collectively, if they are affiliated with IFM, as a state chapter, IFM as General Secretary Dr. Mukesh is also there, right? Or even after subsequent tenure, all person should try to address this situation issue at the national level only. Last slide, please. So to conclude, let us have uniformity and unity, even with diversity. And we came a long way together, right? And we shall go a longer way together. Thank you all.
Thank you,
sir.
Dr. Jani.
Thank you, sir. I would invite the chairpersons, Dr. Venkata Raghava and Dr. Ambika Prasad Patra, to give concluding remarks on the session.
First, I want to thank Dr. C B Jani, sir, for his enlightening presentation and valuable information where he showed us a lot of references also. So for this evidence-based practice of forensic medicine, I feel uniform guidelines are very much necessary. They do exist in the form of examination of victim of sexual offense. As all of you know, the guidelines are started by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. But likewise, the guidelines are needed for all the other examinations. The beneficiary will be the medical officers who do the majority of medical legal work, and they will be in a lot of doubts. And similarly, the legal fraternity and police and doctors also, forensic people also get benefited by the uniform guidelines. But the problem is because many things are held by the state government, so to get that uniformity is very difficult. So I want to quote in my practical experience certain examples where recently we got an order that central government ordered that post-mortem examination should not be, for suicide cases, should not be conducted in the night. But Karnataka, since many years, we are doing the night post-mortem, where we are doing for the almost all unnatural cases, we are doing the post-mortem. So now I am in a fix. I have to write to the concerned authorities now whether the post-mortem can be done in this issue. Second is about the language. For example, Bangalore is near to Tamil Nadu. Many times we get the 146, 1-2 forms in Tamil. It will be very difficult to understand. Same problem here also in Karnataka. The 146, 1 and 2 forms, they exist in Kannada language. So these are some of the problems we usually encounter. And the third thing is, as Jani sir said, about the examination of the victim by the medical officer. 164A clearly states that it does not mention any female medical officer. 164A CRPC just tells that medical officer should do preferably by the government or local authority or any registered medical practitioner. It never mentions that female medical officer should do for the above 18 years age victim. This below 18, it is under the section 27 of POCSO Act. It clearly states that the female doctor has to do. So these are all some differences. But anyway, it's a long way to go. It needs an elaborate intervention. So I once again thank Jani sir for the valuable presentation. I sincerely thank all the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Dr. James and team, you have done an excellent job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I'll invite Dr. Ambika Patra to please give concluding remarks on the session.
Sir, Jani sir.
Hello.
And actually, you have spoken directly from the heart of delegates of this issue. The Raft, the name it says, it is actually the problem in the minds of all.
Sir, your audio is not clear, Dr. Ambika Patra, sir. Sir, your audio is not clear.
Hello. Is it
Yes,
clear
sir.
now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Jani sir. And it was a mind-boggling presentation. You spoken directly from the hearts of all delegates, all forensic practitioners of India, because this is the thing everybody is having, but very least or very few people are talking. I think this type of discussion has never made before, so far to my knowledge. Because as the point by point you clarify, you discuss regarding the uniformity and the discrepancies in the practice of the forensic medicine, be it government and private kind of thing, be it the procedural things and all that. I think I don't want to take much time, but I'm having a lot to speak about this. But one thing I can say, there should be a convention involving all these trades of law, what you have told, the judiciary, the executive, the police, home department, and the medical legal people, whoever the stakeholders. A convention may be made and a definite procedure and bylaws should be discussed and established for a total uniformity of the medical legal practice all across the India. Second point, the medical education department should also uniform the practices be in the state government, central government, or in the private medical college. That is, if you see, sir, right now it is a really a pathetic kind of situation. One thing is there in the central government curriculum, one thing is there in the state government. I'm not talking of curriculum, the system, the way, the practices I'm telling. Central government, we are having 4-tier system for the faculties, for example. In the state government, it is 3-tier system. In the private colleges just after PG also they are taking assistant professor without having any senior residence, and no uniformity of such appointments anywhere in India. So these are really questionable kind of things and need to be fixed as soon as possible. That's what the thing we need to think about. But your presentation, I'm telling you again, sir, you spoken directly from all of our hearts, and thank you for that. A big thanks for that. And I'm really thankful to Dr. James, Dr. Aarti, and the whole team of the Raft for giving such opportunity. I know very well. I am very closely seeing the developments with what odds they have to do all these things. Anyway, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the very inciting comments on the talk. So for the presenters, for the audience, we have some announcement. We have got the link to those forms as discussed by Andrea Zephyrs, and this link is available in the chat box. Also, the references cited by Dr. C B Jani are also present in the chat box. You can download it from there. And now I think we'll go for a 10 minutes tea break and we will join back. Right now the time is 11:30 for a tea break for 10 minutes and we'll get back together at 11:40.
Who will give the tea, Rohit?
Sir,
that is virtual. That is virtual.
the
Okay,
thing-
thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you, thank you,
Thank you, sir.
thank you so much.